Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship here at Road Atlanta for the IndyCar Grand Prix of Atlanta. My name is Vian Energy in the commentary box, and it is sure to be a thriller today as we are here for the final round of the IndyCar Championship, which takes us to Georgia, the US state. And the final round of the season, I can't believe it. The IndyCar Championship's gone by so fast, and we have two championship candidates here today, which could take the first ever IndyCar driver's crown. We've got Emil Nilsson from Estonia and Oscar van Rooyen from the Netherlands. But yes, 20 minutes of qualifying await us then here at the Michelin Raceway. So before we get stuck in then, let's go through the track details then. So, Road Atlanta, for sponsorship reasons, it is known as the Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. This circuit was first opened in 1970, that's 52 years ago now. And it was built by three guys who purchased about 750 acres of farmland in this little area just outside the city of Brazelton in Georgia. And they built this track, and the first ever series to race there was Can-Am, the sports car series, which raced here in 1970. And then we saw series like NASCAR and then Petit Le Mans come here as well. So this circuit does see quite a lot of different racing. Obviously, nowadays we see IMSA come here. A lot of different endurances, both IMSA and Petit Le Mans, but also Moto America, American Superbikes usually come here as well. We have seen Formula cars here as well. In 2021 we had the Formula Regional Americas come here, and NASCAR used to race here as well. So it is quite varied, but overall, obviously a lot of American series, as you would expect. But let's go through the track then. So it is just about, it's not a very long circuit, this one. It is 4.088 kilometers, 12 turns, and a race lap record around the circuit as a whole is a 107.0, but that is in an LMP1 car. I think around, we'd see maybe somewhere in the 110s today, though I don't know. But it is a very interesting circuit, a lot of narrow corners and quite a bit of elevation. I think we will see quite an interesting race in these Indy cars today. But yeah, it is sure to be an exciting one today, as we have the first few times coming in. It's actually Ari Soiler from Finland, who is currently fastest out of everyone else at the moment, as the times are pouring in, with Aditya Bagus in P3 and a surprise Tobias Schwulenberg in third place, with championship leader Oscar van Rooyen in P4, that's P5, as Christian Strix in the SPM car goes P2. But all eyes are gonna be on Oscar van Rooyen and Emil Nilsson today, as we have all the 26, no, someone's not set a time yet, and there it is, Daniel Walla in the what car was he in again? I don't know. But either way, the American Chinese driver goes P3. All eyes today are going to be on Oscar van Rooyen and Emil Nilsson. Van Rooyen P6 and Nilsson P8. And I think, now that we're at it, let's go through the championship criterias for IndyCar then. So, some info then on today's championship battle, provided by our lovely host Turtle. If Oscar van Rooyen finishes P7 or higher today... Oh, is there someone off? Who could that be? And that is Oscar van Rooyen, who's off, actually. For, and yeah, that is the commentator's curse if I've ever seen it. That's Oscar van Rooyen crucially off. In qualifying, he's back into the pits. So that is good for him as well. Yellow flags were out there a bit. But, van Rooyen's back into the pits. That is the biggest commentator's curse I've ever seen, I think, in the history of the ACOC. Oh, I'm sorry, Oscar. But yeah, we'll go back through it again then. So if Oscar Van Rooyen finishes P7 or higher today, he is automatically champion. And if he gets P8, I think the minimum would be if he finishes P8 and gets a fast lap, he's champion. Same goes for if he finishes P7 or higher. If Van Rooyen finishes outside, or if he finishes P8 without fastest lap or lower, then Nilsson needs to win. So whatever happens, Emil Nilsson needs to win without Van Rooyen, or with Van Rooyen being P8 or lower. So if Nilsson does not take the victory today, Oscar Van Rooyen is IndyCar World Champion. As we got a bit of a train here, here's Tobias Frudenberg. He's pretty far up today, as he is stuck behind, I believe that is the Ray Hall Lerman Lanigan racing car of, could that be Roberto Jimenez? There's Will Parrish though, he is leading this little train, as these little group of cars heading through the back straight then. Meanwhile, here is Christoph Baronek in P15. He's just behind Parrish there, so we can see all these guys cross the line. And Baronek is going to start his lap. I don't think we're going to see any improvements in this field. Here's Emil Nilsson. I think he had a bit of a stroke of luck there with Van Rooyen going off and being forced into the pits. That will mean less running time for his championship rival Van Rooyen here, and more running time for the man in the Penske, Emil Nilsson. So we'll see where Emil will qualify today. It's got about 12 minutes remaining in qualifying now. As Nilsson's just going to start his lap here. There behind him is that Talal Nugali, I reckon. Can't believe it's been an entire season. I still can't identify the cars. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, it is a tad bit difficult. As Nilsson heads through the first few turns then, on to turns 4 and 5, the S's as they're called. As Nilsson's actually up in the first sector as he heads through turns 6 and 7. Christian Russell's an improvement. He's up into P11. Rodrigo Jimenez improves as well, but he stays P17. As we see Nilsson going through this little kink, turn 8. And then on to turn 8, as we have C2 improvements. It's Courtney Simpson who's up into P4, and Kuben Grissom is up into P9. So both of them improve. As we see Nilsson heading through turns. This is 10A and 10B for some reason. They're not called turn 10 and 11. For some reason they're not, but this is turns 11 and 12. Let's see Nilsson has crossed the line, goes P2. So good stuff from Emil Nilsson. That is what he needs today. Though he only has Ari Soiler that he needs to clear. Van Rooyen is P8 and Nilsson is P2, so it's looking in Nilsson's favor at the moment. But remember, he has to get the victory today. And Van Rooyen has to finish P8 and get the fastest lap to automatically become champion. If he is P7 or above, he is automatically champion whatever he does, even if Nilsson wins the race. But a good improvement for Courtney Simpson. He's P5 now. I'd say the Chip Ganassi have been quite lacking this season. I mean, you were expecting quite a lot from them, I think, considering that they had such a good lineup in former F1 driver Courtney Simpson and former Formula 2 driver Halil Shahin. But yeah, they are, I mean, let's just say they've not really been performing up to par. Either way, I think it's still good to see the Jamaican Courtney Simpson up into P5. That's P6 as Coleman Wilson, the Junkos, goes P3. Good lap from the Slovakian. And that is him up into third place. So yeah, that is pretty good from him as well. Here's Andrew Glock, the only man in IndyCar alongside Talal Nagali who hasn't scored any points in IndyCar yet. He's the only full-time driver to have not scored any points in Indy. As we see him head down the back straight through turn 9 and on to turns 10. Look at that, he's actually 2/10 up in the middle sector. Just as we were talking about him getting no points, could we see him storm up to provisional pole here at Indy? Let's see as he goes through the final corner. Real Bassini goes P3, Glock goes P1. What a lap for Andrew Glock. And that is him on pole, up by 0.2 of a second. That is a great lap from Andrew Glock. And I think that is certainly what the American was hoping for. And what a way it's going to be to end off the season for him, as another former F1 driver making it into the top 3. That's Giulio Cisetti up into P3. So good lap time in the Carlin for Cisetti then, as that is her up into 3rd place. But it is P4 as Anton Orlov, the Russian, makes it P2. So we're seeing a lot of improvements now. So yeah, that is a brilliant lap time from Anton Orlov. Obviously, he lost out on the podium to Krzysztof Baranek last time out at Michigan. And obviously, him and Baranek were side by side almost throughout the entire race that time, but it was Baranek who came out on top. But let's see if Orlov will be able to secure his first ever podium in the ACOC today here at Road Atlanta. This Real Bassino, actually pretty good qualifying for the Canadian. He's P5, so he has done greatly to get P5. That's P6. It's Adam Wolf, P2 for the Brit. And that is a stonking lap time from Adam Wolf in the Dale Coyne racing car. So they are doing pretty well, Dale Coyne. P2 and P10, so both of the cars in the points. And both Chip Ganassis just behind each other. Halil Shine is P11, was just able to get past his teammate Courtney Simpson in P12. So both of them are in the points at the moment, as Tobias Schwulenberg goes P2 in the AJ Foyt. Good stuff from the former Formula E driver. And that is him up into P2. So Schwulenberg looking pretty good today, as Nick Tanner goes up into P22, as Schwulenberg down to P3, as Talal Nugali, the Saudi Arabian driver, P2. So a lot of improvements, track definitely improving, but that is P3 as Kajetan Konichina, P2, takes it from Nugali and Schwulenberg. Matthew Falcon, the other Polish driver, is up into P9, just behind Giulio Cisetti there in P8. So wow, those are rapid improvements from everyone, but no one able to challenge the big man up at the top, Andrew Glock. Let's see if he will be able to take the final pole position of the IndyCar season. Also, for those watching, we have a pretty big announcement for IndyCar. At the end of the stream, we'll reveal it in the ACOC Discord. So make sure to stick around after the race, and we'll have some pretty big news to reveal. And yeah, we'll see everyone's reactions on it. Here's Emil Nilsson knocked down to P12. Both him and Van Rooyen out of the points at the moment. As it stands, Nilsson will not be champion if they were to finish things like this. But let's see if the Estonian is able to improve. Let's see his middle sector, Emil Nilsson, as he's about 0.2 off. So I think we could see an improvement for Nilsson here, as we see him head through turns 10A and 10B. And then on to turn 11, and then the final corner, turn 12. Let's see what it will be for Emil Nilsson as he crosses the line. It's P6 for Nilsson. So that is pretty good from him. But remember, Nilsson has to win today. So to become world champion, even if he finishes P2 and Van Rooyen doesn't score points, he is not champion. As it stands in the championship fight after let me check here. Oh, where is it? Yeah, after Michigan, it is Van Rooyen on 89.5 points, with Emil Nilsson Krupensky with 70 points. So that is pretty interesting then. As I did say, Nilsson has to win with Van Rooyen Peter lower, as we did actually miss this out. Look at that! Krzysztof Baranek has actually taken pole position from Andrew Glock. That is a massive development, as Baranek, the Czech driver, storms onto pole position. Provisionally, obviously, but that is still a great lap time from Baranek. Why is it always that someone takes pole position while I'm reading up on something else? Either way, that is Christoph Beranek for Carlin, who takes provisional pole away from the American Andrew Glock. Let's see Daniel Wale. While as he crosses the line, it was no problem for him. Someone's off. I believe. Oh, that is Ari Soilu. Has he made contact with someone? I believe. Might it be Christian Russell? But the Finnish man is parked up in the first few corners there. Yeah, there's Russell. Ooh, off in a pretty awkward angle as well. I think he might be into the wall there, the Israeli driver. Soilu is able to carry on, but what has happened to Christian Russell, may I wonder? That is a pretty strange accident. Shame we didn't catch it on camera, but yeah, yellow flags are out. I think, yeah, Russell's back into the pits, and Soilu is able to carry on as Alfa Chabargos goes P16. As Glock was actually able to reclaim that pole position, so Andrew is doing really well here today. Home turf, obviously, for Glock. I mean, he's had many home races, considering that this is an American series, but either way, I think it is going to be pretty good for Andrew, as he's going to be on pole position for the final race of the season here at Road Atlanta. As Tobias Schwulenberg takes the P2 back from Christoph Beranek with 3 minutes remaining. Schwulenberg is looking to get his first ever podium in the ACOC. Obviously, he's been without a podium for a very, very long time. Schwulenberg, obviously, if you think back to his earlier races, you think back to the Luca round of Formula E 2017. Oh, is there an improvement? Nick Tanner, good lap from him. That is him up at the P6. As Rodrigo Jimenez could be an improvement here. About a few seconds up as Christian Strix, the Danish driver, goes P3. What a lap from Christian Strix in the Schmidt-Peterson. As we're going to see Jimenez across the line. It's pole for Rodrigo Jimenez. What a lap from the Brazilian. And that sees him from P26 on the grid to P1. That is a marvelous lap time from Jimenez, the Brazilian. And might we see a second win for Rahal Letterman here today at IndyCar, as Nilsson's going to start his lap here. But what I wanted to say about Schwulenberg was that he was supposed to get a podium, as there goes Talan Nagali up at P3 just ahead of Schwulenberg. But what I was going to say was he was supposed to get a podium at Lucca in Formula E 2017. But if you remember back to that race, it was a bit chaotic and everyone was just all over the place. But if you remember, it was Schwulenberg who made contact with the stricken car, the stricken Edam's car of Erika Hanabusa, I think it was, and they came together and Schwulenberg finished somewhere P6 there. But Talan Nagal is up at the P3, so the P3, it's a very unusual top 3, I must say. Jimenez, Glock, and Nugali. I mean, that is certainly not something you should expect, as here's Schwulenberg, he's behind, I believe that was Kajetan Konichina, as Riyad Bozino gets himself into the points. He goes P9. Ari Soilers was actually able to set an improvement. He's P12. The thing is, where's Nilsson? As Tillerson goes P8. Nilsson P16. Van Rooyen is last. So Van Oscar has not been able to get out of the pits after his accident, which is actually pretty strange. But Nilsson is looking at a prime advantage here today. Remember, he has to take the win. Otherwise, Van Rooyen is champion. So Nilsson has a pretty good advantage here as Anton Orlov gets himself into the points. P12 it is for the Russian at the moment with 20 seconds remaining. Jimenez, Nugali are in the pit, so they won't improve on their laps. Glock, Schwulenberg, Strix, and Beranek in the top 6 are on their laps, so we could see improvements from them. But honestly, considering how Jimenez went from P26 to P1, I think anyone could take pole position, and I really mean anyone, because IndyCar is so close. As now the checker flag is out. Who's going to be the first car to cross the line, which is going to be the question. We're going to stay on board with Emil Nilsson here, as Kajetan Konichina gets up into P3. Schwulenberg's into the pit, so it does not improve. Nilsson crosses the line. He can't get into the points. Crucially for Emil Nilsson, it's on the P13 for the Estonian, as Ari Soil is going to cross the line. Next to cross the line is him. He can't improve. But Kajetan condition up at the P3, then Ngali and Schulberg at the P4 and P5. Here's Anton Orlov as he goes through the final corner, turn 12. Let's see Orlov as he crosses the line. No improvement for Anton Orlov. Neither is an improvement for Nick Tanner, but he's in the point, so it's good for Tanner. He's Daniel Waller, P22. Surely doesn't want to be there as he goes P2, and he definitely doesn't want to be P22 as Courtney sends the final car across the line, and it is Rodrigo Jimenez from Brazil on pole position for the final time here at IndyCar. So let's go through the final classifications then, or not final classifications, sorry, the starting grid then before lights out here at Road Atlanta for one final time this season in IndyCar. Rodrigo Jimenez, first pole position for the Brazilian. I'm thinking that must feel pretty good for Rodrigo, as it's Daniel Waller who actually did pretty well. Just got P2 there at the final seconds of qualifying, with Andrew Glock, a very, very good P3 for the American on the second row, with Polish Kajetan Konishina in P4. Talal Nagali's P5 with Tobias Schwulenberg in P6. Then it is Christian Strix who qualifies P7, with Christoph Beranek in P8. Will Parrish is P9 with Jake Tildesley in the Penske P10. Nick Tanner, the Australian, is P11 with Riyad Bazino, the Canadian, P12, rounding out the points. Behind Bazino is Anton Orlov, the Russian, but Orlov's got to watch out because he's got none other than the championship contender Emil Nilsson in P14, and Nilsson is going to be hungry, but if he is able to get that win today, it is going to be difficult, as it's Adam Wolf in P15. Ari Soilu is P16 with former F1 driver Courtney Simpson in P17. Matthew Falcon stuck behind a former F1 driver sandwich there as he's P18. Behind him is Giulio Cisetti in P19. Matthias Boko P20 as Coleman Russ is P21 for Juncos. Adi Chabagos is P22 with the other Christian Russell down in P23 after his accident in qualifying. Halil Shahin is P25, and Oscar Van Rooyen, who really has to pray today for that championship, is P26 after his accident in the beginning of qualifying. So let's get on the way with the race, shall we? Ooh, I'm itching to get away, as we've got 26 laps ahead, or 24 laps ahead of us. It's Rodrigo Jimenez on pole as we've got 6 lights. And we are racing at Atlanta. Good start for Jimenez. Has Glock already got Waller there off the line as they're side by side heading into the first corner, but Jimenez has got a great start as he leads into turn 1. Glock on the outside of Waller, as I think Konechina is dueling there with Talal Ngali, as I think Waller just holding off as Glock is actually ahead of Daniel Waller for P2, but it's Jimenez who leads from Andrew Glock, Daniel Waller, Talal Ngali, and then Kajetan Konechina to Tobias Schwulenberg's fallen down to P7, as Christian Strix has just been able to get Schwulenberg now, being put under pressure by Will Parrish there, but Schwulenberg, no, he's trying to get past the Danish driver Strix there on the inside into turn 7 of the Schmidt-Peterson, as they go side by side now heading down the straight. Schwulenberg there just hanging on to Strix there as they go side by side. Schwulenberg is going to have the outside line heading into the turn 10 chicane, as Schwulenberg just barely alongside there of Strix, as we see Beranek and Tilson go side by side here into the chicane. Then Schwulenberg on the inside, and he gets it done. Good stuff from Schwulenberg. That's him up into P6, but Strix now under pressure from Will Parrish there behind him. Parrish obviously who won in Mexico, and now looking to get some good points as well, as Nick Tanner and Real Balzini go there side by side. Nilsson is dealing with Matthew Falcon. Emil has fallen down places, and Van Rooyen has only gone up places. Adi Chabag's horrible start from the Indonesian, he's down to P26 as Halil Shahin overtakes him. There's Christian Russell in P22. He's past Kuben Grissom for P22 there, but Grissom still looking to put the pressure as he gets past the Israeli once again, as they're side by side through the first few corners, now through the SS, as it's oh so close, but Russell just tucking in behind there of the American, as they go side by side now heading into turn 6. Russell on the outside of Kuben Grissom into turn 7 as well, but still wheel to wheel, as I think there's a slide there from Grissom, but either way they're still remaining side by side, as Bagos and Shahin are side by side there for P25 as well. There's Christian Russell He's still going at it as they head into the chicane, then down to the run of the chicane. Bazzino there side by side with Nick Tanner from P11, as Bazzino there swings it on the inside and gets ahead of Tanner as someone set the fastest lap, but did not quite catch who that was. I think it might have been Courtney Simpson, as Simpson is ahead of Ari Soiler there, who's down to P18. But currently it is Rodrigo Jimenez who leads from Andrew Glock by 9/10 of a second. And then Daniel Wall in P3, Talon Nagali P4, and then Kaintar Konichina, who's trying to put the pressure on Nagali for P4. So that was a pretty interesting start. Let's see the position gains from the start then. So Andrew Glock was on 1 position after Daniel Wallace poor start there. Talon Nagali was able to get Kajetan Konichina there for P4s. Tobias Schwulenberg and Christian Strix have remained stationed after Schwulenberg was able to re-overtake Christian Strix for P6 after Strix overtook him at the start. Paris is up 1, he's overtaking Veronic. Bazzino is overtaking Tander. So they're both up and down 1. Wolf and Nilsson. So Wolf is ahead of Nilsson here, as Van Rooyen is going at it with Aditya Bagus. Bagus has gotten past Oscar Van Rooyen there. So that is the Indonesian up into P24. Van Rooyen at the back of the grid, but Nilsson is not doing so well either. He's P15. Now the question is if he will get past Andrew Glock here today, or no, sorry, or if Nilsson will be able to get into the points. Either way, it's looking really unlikely. So as it stands, Van Rooyen will be champion. So I think Van Rooyen doesn't really have much to how do you say this? Doesn't really have much to gain there. But yeah, biggest gainers, Matthew Falcon's up 2 places, up into P16, and Cuban Grissom's up 2 as well. So is Coleman Russ up into P19. Kaitan Kanishina looking to put the pressure on Talon Nagali here as he's trying to get out. Might actually try to move there actually. No, he doesn't. He stays behind the Saudi Arabian driver who is P4 at the moment. So Nagali doing pretty well. As we're now on lap 5 out of 24. Glock has closed down that gap to Jimenez by about a 10th of a second. So could Glock maybe catch up to Rodrigo Jimenez here as we have a battle at the back. That's Christian Russell versus Cuban Grissom once again. As Russell's ahead this time, but he's going to have to watch his back as Russell is trying to, or Grissom is trying to get past. But Russell remains in P22, so he got the move done on Grissom there, and it's now just behind Matthias Poco there. As we see all the corners heading through turns, or down the run into turn 6 there. Let's see Kaitan Kanishina as he heads down the back straight, trying to get Talon Nagali here, as Nagali is losing massive amounts of time on Daniel Wall ahead, but I don't think Konichina is going to try the move here. No, he's not close enough to try it onto Orlov, though. On the back of Nick Tander here, so Orlov could maybe try it in the coming laps on Tander. As here's Matthias Poco, who is chasing down Giulia Cisetti for P20, but it's looking quite unlikely at the moment. As we see Konichina and Nagali, and then Schwulenberg and Strix there, all heading through the SS. As we head down into turn 6, there you can see Jimenez just about there, who's in the race lead from Andrew Glock, and then Daniel Walla in P3, with these couple of guys just a bit further back, as Nagali seems to be holding everyone up here. But let's see if Konichina might actually be close enough this time. He looks pretty close, but I don't think he is going to try it. No, he doesn't. Kajetan stays back for P5 as Nick Tanner now looking to get Real Bazzino back, actually trying to re-overtake the Canadian for P11. But I don't think he will, as yeah, it looks a bit difficult to overtake at the moment, but yeah, we'll see if they'll be able to get past each other. As we did ask you before the race of your or who you're rooting for in the championship, we had a lot of different drivers chime in. Jafari Blackwood said Emil Nilsson. Daniel Fraser said Andretti. And Andrew Block said Emil Nilsson as well. So for those who are watching, who are you hoping for to win the championship? Obviously, we're still lap 7 of 24, so maybe things could change. Who knows? Either way, Tanner's looking to put the pressure on Real Pacino here. As Ari Soyle might actually get out of Courtney Simpson. No, I thought it looked like to me that he was trying to move, but nope, he was not. But Soyle is still looking quite close to Simpson here, so I think if Simpson slips up and makes a mistake here, Soyle could say thank you very much and get past for P17 on the former Toro Rosso driver. But I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that the IndyCar season has gone by this fast, hasn't it? I mean, we've had so many races. You think back to the first race, which was, let's just say, a bit chaotic. But you think back to so many memorable moments. You think back to the Daytona Road Course round where Nilsson had a great charge from P7 on the grid to win. You think to Assen where Rowan Chotanis took his home win. And then Texas where Walla and Kanishina had that great fight. Obviously Montreal where Matthias Poco took his first win. Mexico City where Will Parrish took his first win. And then Michigan was Emil Nilsson who took a second win. So I believe he's the only driver to have won on both road courses and ovals, so at least he'll go down in history for something. As here's Jake Tildesley actually on the back of Will Parrish. Could we see Tildesley getting past Will here for P8? That could definitely be a possibility, but he's holding everyone up at the moment. As you can see, Baronic, Bazino, Tander, Orlov, Wolf, and a few others there, just behind those two. As Baronic is looking to get past Jake Tildesley for P9. But I don't think Christoph is close enough. No, he isn't. As we see the lap times come in then, everyone lapping into 109s there, just a bit. Yeah, everyone lapping around the same pace. I think Schulenberg and Strix are lapping a few tenths down from the top 5 actually. That is at least for last lap. We don't know if they maybe were just a tad bit slower, the others were a tad bit faster. But yeah, we'll see how things eventually pan out. As we see Christoph Baronic heading through the S's there in his number 23 Carlin racing car. As there's Jake Tildesley in P9 for Penske at the moment. I think we should also probably note the Constructors' Championship. I believe it will be won by Andretti at this point. Let me just double check that. Yes, it will, considering that Glock is in P2 at the moment. And then we have Nugali in P4. And then it's Parrish in P8 as well. So yeah, Andretti will be team's champions after this race. So yeah, I think they'll both be driver and team champion, which will be pretty nice for them. there's Jake Tilsley though. He's still trying to find a way around Will Parrish, but is he gonna get ahead of the American? That is the question that yet remains to be answered. As we see them head through turn 9 now onto the turn 10 chicane, as I like to call it. And well, I mean, I think the drivers are struggling to overtake, as one man said, getting close to someone is one thing, passing is another. So yeah, I think it is a bit difficult, especially with how narrow the circuit is. I think it proves a bit difficult for some to overtake. As there's Tobias Schwarzenberg, he's on the back of Kajetan Konieczna. Here Konieczna, who is falling back on Talal Nugali actually. So I think Konieczna, who tried to attack Nugali so much, I think he just burnt out his tires, and now he's not really gaining on Talal here. As we see Jake Tilsley once again, it's going to get Will Parrish this time, as we see them head through turn 8 and or no, that's turn 9. This is turn 10. Nope, Tilsley stays behind. As we're on lap 13 of 24, so we're over halfway distance now, and it is currently looking to be Oscar van Rooyen for the championship. Here he is in his Andretti Autosport number 26 car. P25, but he probably doesn't have a care in the world at the moment, considering that, well, his championship rival is out of the points, and he's out of the points as well, meaning that he will become champion. Maybe in a bit of an anticlimactic way. It's no Thomas Mandage 2017 Formula 2, to say the least, where you end off a championship by winning the final race of the season. But a championship is a championship, and I must say, both Oscar van Rooyen and Emil Nielsen are driven incredibly this season. I mean, honestly, I would have been satisfied with whoever came at the top, because they've both driven like champions today. Van Rooyen, I mean, what can be said? I mean, coming to F2, I think no one would have expected. Coming to IndyCar, I think no one would have expected an F2 dropout to perform this well, but he has like actually really proved everyone wrong, even me. And I mean, yeah, that is incredible. Same goes with Nilsson. I mean, he didn't really achieve much in Formula E. I mean, he was there sometimes, I guess. You know, he had the usual performances. He missed the middle of the season, and then he rejoined with Dragon. But yeah, he didn't have like any standout performances in Formula E either, so I think he's really found IndyCar as a happy hunting ground for himself. Same goes with Van Rooyen as well. So we'll see where the pair of them will head for next season. As Kajetan's put in chat, Emil, but I doubt it will happen. Yeah, it is looking very unlikely at the moment, especially with how quiet the field is at the moment. Yeah, Van Rooyen will be champion. So, yeah, he'll be the first Dutch champion we have in the ACOC, which is gonna be pretty fun, in my opinion. I mean, we have 2 Dutch drivers in the ACOC. Obviously we have Ron Chatanis and Oscar van Rooyen, the 2 Dutch drivers. So we have had Tyler Visser in the past, but he's not racing with us anymore, unfortunately. But I believe that's it. I can't think of any other Dutch driver. But I must say, one thing I really do like about the ACOC is just how many different nationalities there are. I mean, you could call this like an, I don't know, maybe like a UN peace meeting, I guess. I don't know why I just said that, but it doesn't make any sense. But you get my point. There's so many nationalities. I mean, just in IndyCar, we've got Finland, Netherlands, Canada, America, China, Australia, Israel. The list goes on. Like, there are so many different nationalities just in IndyCar, and I mean that's great to see. You always love having drivers from around the globe competing out in such a series like these. It's incredible, and I like it. And I think that's one of the greatest things with the ACOC, just how many different types of drivers we have. And you know, it makes me glad to have started a thing like this and see such a great community flourish. Yeah, this is pretty nice to put it, to say the least. As Jake Tillisley still trying to get Will Parrish here for P8, though he's not able to. Here's Julia Cisetti on the back of Koloman Rus, the Slovakian, versus the Italian. As Cisetti is actually going to try the move here on the inside into the turn 10 chicane. Here goes Cisetti on Rus, but I think Koloman's held up there. Yes, he has. So he's actually defended from Cisetti there, but Cisetti now under pressure from Mattias Poco, who's looking to try the move on the Italian, but Cisetti is not giving away that P20. Christian Russell's looking to make the move on Poco there, but Poco wasn't able to get past Cuban Grissom, though. Sees the advantage, has a bit of a look, and I think, yeah, this just caused an absolute domino effect, because here comes Adi Chabagus on Cuban Grissom, as Oscar Van Rooyen is scrambling there behind, trying to get past Bagus. Obviously, Van Rooyen won't take any risks here. He just wants to bring the car home today, and then he will be IndyCar World Champion of 2018. As here's Khalil Shine. I think it definitely must be a disappointing season for Khalil Shine. He really hasn't done well. I think he must be frustrated. So whatever happens to Khalil in 2019, I think he'll look for a better season, as Courtney Simpson tried to move there. Matthew Falcon, Ari Soyle had a bit of a look there on Simpson. That's the thing when everyone's so closely bunched together. If one person tries a move and fails, they lose time, and that means the other person's going to try. And if they fail, it kind of just triggers a domino effect, and the person behind them tries to move, and the person behind them, and etc., etc. There's Nick Tanner, though. He's looking to get past Riyad Bazino, but there's Anton Orlov, who's trying to make the move on the Australian Nick Tanner. But Orlov's under pressure because there's Wolf on the inside, but yeah, Orlov doesn't flinch. He stays P13. As Tillisley, he's been stuck behind Parrish the entire race. So yeah, I think it must be frustrating for Jake here, but he's P9 at the moment. There's Real Bazino on Christoph Beranek into the chicane, as Beranek's going to hold him off on the outside, and he has done so. So Tanner there closing up on Beranek. Now there's Koloman Rus, who tried to get past Ari Soilu. So I think there's a position change. Cuban Grissom, I think, has gotten ahead of Christian Russell. So good stuff from Cuban. He's up to P22. But Christian won't be done yet, because he's still looking to put the pressure on Cuban Grissom here on the outside into the S's now, as they head side by side. Ooh, Russell has to back out of that, because here comes Adi Chabagus. The Indonesian is looking to put the pressure on Russell here, but he's not able to get past the Israeli-American driver, as Bagus has now got Oscar Van Rooyen behind him. But yeah, Van Rooyen doesn't go for the move, but Shine decides to go for the move on Van Rooyen there, but no, it doesn't make it work. He's not close enough to try the move. I think he's just trying to scare Oscar into making a mistake. As here is Riyad Bazino. Is he going to try the move on Beranek? No, he doesn't. Riyad stays behind the Czech Beranek. And I must say, Beranek is doing really, really well on his ACOC return. Obviously, he retired in 2017 I believe it was 3 races in, or 2 races in. And now he makes his return, and I mean, it's great to see Christoph back, and he's performing so well too. So. And this was the man who replaced Baronek. A bit long there. Anton Orlov, who obviously replaced Rosetta Martinez at Formula E. Martinez stepped up to replace Baronek in Formula 2 back in 2017. As with a spam bot in chat, I don't know why do they keep coming here. I mean, yeah, it's great that we have viewers at least, but please not here. You can go somewhere else, just not here. Thanks. As here's Ari Soile in P18. He's had a pretty lackluster season, I think. Obviously, he scored a podium. Oh no, that is Kaitan Kondichina, and he's out. He's stuck in the gravel. He's beached his car, and the Team Penske number 22 car is out. And that is a big development in IndyCar. What has happened to Kaitan Kondichina? Yeah, yellow flags are out, but that must be a shame, big shame for Kaitan Kondichina, as he is out in the final round of IndyCar. That sees Anton Orlov into the points, and Tobias Schwulenberg is promoted to P5. So, yeah, the question is, did maybe contact somewhere, or did he just go off on his own? Either way, all of this will be investigated after the session by our team of stewards. As here's Colin Rus looking to get past Ari Soile here, but he does not try it. As Schwulenberg just about lapping equally there on Talal Ngali, but Christian Strix behind is lapping 7/10 slower there on the last lap. So yeah, Strix I think is gonna finish P6 here, unless someone else decides to DNF here. But that was very strange. I certainly wasn't expecting condition out of all people, but either way, that is the Polish driver out of the IndyCar Grand Prix of Atlanta. And still, Jake Tilsley hasn't got past Will Parrish. He's been behind the American the entire race, but he just has not been able to get past him. But yeah, still strong defense from Will, I must admit. He's just held at P7, and he's got nerves still, Parrish. He's not held off. He's not succumbed to the pressure and let himself get overtaken. As there's Giulio Cisetti on the inside of Holman Rus. But Cisetti wasn't able to make the move done. Jake Tilsley then still trying to put the pressure on Will Parrish. Obviously, both of them former Formula E drivers. Parrish was competing in Venturi, and Tilsley was competing with Jaguar. Parrish did pretty well actually in Formula E. He took the win at Donington, the Donington round of the 2017 Formula E Championship. There's Ari Soile, who has a bit of a peak there on the inside of Courtney Simpson, but he is not able to get past. But yeah, back to what I was saying about Formula E. As actually, we're on the final lap of the race. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we're on the final lap. The final lap of IndyCar in 2018. I mean, what a wild ride it has been, definitely. And Rodrigo Jimenez is going to be pretty happy with that, coming home to take the final IndyCar win of the season, which is going to feel pretty nice for Jimenez. And as it stands, Oscar Van Rooyen will be 2018 IndyCar World Champion. And I mean, yeah, that is great. As we see Jimenez heading to turn 7 for the final time. There's Andrew Glock Just behind him is going to take his first podium, his first points in IndyCar. Same with Talon Nagali, who's going to finish P4 today. So at least, yeah, we'll go home today with all drivers in IndyCar having scored points as Jimenez heads through the final few corners today. It's already been a win for Rahal Letterman this season. Matheus Poca won it, but the other Brazilian's going to win it today as Rodrigo Jimenez wins the final race of IndyCar here at Atlanta. And what a drive from Rodrigo Jimenez as Andrew Locke's P2 and Daniel Wallace P3. But we're going to stay on board with this man, the man from the Netherlands, Oscar van Rooyen. When he came to IndyCar, everyone doubted him. He had absolutely no successes in Formula 2. He really was not the favorite to be championship contending, but he's proved everyone wrong as Oscar van Rooyen is 2018 IndyCar champion. And that is it for IndyCar. That's it for 2018. I can't believe I'm saying this. That is great. So let's go through the final championship. Let's go through the final classifications then of the final IndyCar race in 2018 at the Grand Prix of Atlanta. Rodrigo Jimenez, the second Brazilian to win in IndyCar after his teammate Matheus Poca. He takes the final victory here at Atlanta with Andrew Glock, a first podium in IndyCar, his first ever podium in the ACOC as well. That is Andrew finishing P2 with the fast lap as well. Daniel Wallace P3, good stuff from him today with Talon Nagali scoring some good points. He finishes P4. Tobias Schwulenberg is P5, good result from the German as well as Christian Strix is P6. Will Parrish is P7 with Jake Tilsley P8. Christoph Beranek is P9 as Riyad Bazino is P10. Nick Tanner is P11 with Anton Orlov rounding out the points in P12. Adam Wolf is P13 with Emil Nilsson. Shame for him. I think he did everything he can today, but that is still P2 for him in the championship standings as he finishes P14. Matthew Falcon is P15 and Courtney Simpson is P17. Ari Soiler P17 with Colin Murray P18. Julia Cizetti finishes P19 and Matthias Lopez P20. Kuman Grissom is P21 with Christian Russell P22. Adi Chabagas is P23, and with our newly crowned IndyCar champion Oscar van Rooyen, that feels good to say, as he's P24, and Halil Shine is P25, and non-finisher is Kajetan Konichina. But that is it for IndyCar. It's over for 2018. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks so much for sticking us with this IndyCar season. It has been an absolute treat to watch as the season unfolds. Congratulations to Rodrigo Jimenez on the victory, and congratulations to Oscar van Rooyen on the IndyCar Championship. Enjoy it, man. You have done absolutely great this season, and Emil Nilsson as well. It's been a pleasure watching this season unfold. A lot of different wins, overtakes, and drama. I mean, yeah, it's been great. And we've got some news as well about IndyCar just after this race. But yeah, that is it for Indy. Congratulations to Jimenez on the victory. Congratulations to Van Rooyen on the championship. And yeah, that is it for IndyCar this season. Thanks so much for watching. And we will see you next week for DTM. I think it's the final DTM round as well. No, the second to last DTM round at the Norris Ring. So we'll see you next week for that. And then Formula 1 at Mexico City. So only two tiers get races next week, which is kind of strange. But yes, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for sticking with IndyCar. I've been Miran FG, and